On today's segment is Andy Simon, corporate anthropologist, author, president and CEO of Simon Associates Management Consultants. Today's topic is, why is corporate anthropology good for your business? Thank you for sharing with us today. Can you give us an example from your consulting practice of how you were able to help a business through corporate anthropology?
Businesses of all types come to us. We've had businesses in healthcare, manufacturing, plumbing supplies, shower heads, financial planning firms, engineering. They all come with a challenge. They've often stalled, or they need to figure out how to regrow their business in new directions, or they understand markets are changing. Corporate anthropology is an approach that can help them. So let me give you one case study that I find very interesting because we were hired to help them respond to the recession of 2008. Michael Coulton is general manager of Benjamin Opdyke. Now, Benjamin Opdyke is a wonderful company in Pennsylvania that specializes in materials that go on homes while they're being built to take the moisture out and keep the siding and the wood intact and in good shape. They have roofing, they have rain screens, they have moisture removal products that are really state of the art. When there was lots of building, they were doing really well. When the recession hit, things stopped. So we were called in to see if we could figure out a growth strategy for them until the housing market recovered, or if it never recovered. What were we going to do with great products but no sales? So we did lots of things. We took them out, first of all, exploring. And we took their sales guys. The sales guys never liked us very much because we were challenging all of the assumptions. They knew how to sell in a growing housing market. What were they going to do without it? I hung out. I spent time looking at emails coming through. We listened on the telephone. We did a good deal of time in the lunchroom listening to people and what they were challenged by. We love to get to know a culture well, and the best way to do that is hang out. And what we began to see were opportunities. There were three that were real important. One of which is that the emails were coming in from across the country in parts that they weren't selling. And I said to Michael, why aren't you selling in the South or the Southwest? He said, well, they don't need our products. And I said, well, here are 60 emails from those parts of the country that don't need your products. And as he looked at them, he began to wonder, why? What am I missing here? The second thing we did was we went to look at where they were distributing. And major boxes like Lowe's and Menards weren't selling their product because Michael and his team were protecting the smaller distributors. But what we know is that when you go into large box stores, everybody's boat rises. It's really something that makes it legitimate and important. So we began to work with them on expanding that way. But the most interesting part was the discovery. We went out and we talked to their distributors, lumberyard owners, and we sat and we listened to them and we asked them, what's your strategy for growth until the housing market rebounds? And they said, we don't have one. So I said to Michael, if they don't have one, how are you going to grow if they're not going to be buying more of your product? I don't know. So we listened, and each of the times they spoke about areas that were growing. Flashing for windows with stucco remediation. New materials for stucco remediation. And finally I asked one of the gentlemen, tell me about stucco remediation. He said, it's the only area that's really growing because all of the stucco that was put up is finding mold and rot underneath it, and so they have to redo it. So the window flashing, new windows, and new materials. So as we walked out, I asked the head of sales and the CEO, how about stucco remediation? And they said, well, we don't sell to the masonry industry. I said, why not? And they said, because we don't sell. So I went back and Michael did something very clever. He became a participant observer, very anthropological. He had them come to his home to see how they would remediate the stucco that was there. So he brought in an auditor to take a good look. And that's when he learned about the process and what was missing. What was missing was their product. Next thing you know, he's got an e-commerce site, Ben, all about stucco and masonry and how their products and others could help better do stucco remediation. Their business was climbing like this. Three ways. They were selling through the Menards, they were selling in new markets, and they were selling for stucco remediation. And as we write about him in our book, as he tells the story, he said it was all there. We didn't see it. How come we didn't see it? It was all around us. The problem was really hard to see what's all in front of you.
What's the takeaway from this case study?
All of the things that I did, he could do, but we don't. If your business is stalled and you're thinking about where the opportunities are, it's very simple. Go sit on the phone and listen to the calls coming in that you say, I don't do. Look at the emails that are coming that you can't respond to. They're all asking for things that they think you could help with. Search is wonderful. What are the keywords they're using, and are they coming to your website? Are they staying on or not? Take a good look at the trends of what's happening and how you can capitalize on it. And then everything you don't do, try and think about how you could do. There are lots of games we play to help you do that in innovative ways. But by and large, it's time for you to begin to see your business in new light, and corporate anthropology can certainly help.
Can you give us a closing thought?
Well, you know, we work with a lot of large and small companies, billion-dollar companies and $10 million ones. What I'm endlessly fascinated by is that they all need to grow, and often the growth is right around them, and often they just have to step back and look at it with fresh eyes. Be a little anthropological and your business can grow too.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights today. And be sure to watch our full video series on how corporate anthropology can help your business.